Have you ever wondered about the fundamental mystery of common sense? How it forces us to confront the common sense understanding of itself? Achilles, the dying counterpart of Ares, the god of war, and Agamemnon, the accursed counterpart of Zeus, who despises Ares more than any other god, both seem to understand war through their common sense. But do they truly? Achilles claims to be stronger than Agamemnon, who he accuses of only winning wars of words. Yet, no martial contest at arms ever occurs between these two men. It is Achilles who meets his end in battle, not Agamemnon, who is killed by a treacherous woman after his safe return from Troy. Zeus, claiming to be stronger than any other god, maintains his throne at Olympus's towering peak. Ares, in contrast, lives in exile, not daring to assault the mighty fortress of the thunder-hurling king. If the argument depends on the superiority of arms over the mastermind, an epithet of Zeus, then it may be mistaken. But let's delve into a finer point. The distinction between things said and paths to wolf-like force in the Hector example seems vague and devoid of a concept. A concept is a general term that allows us to address an idea. For instance, the anthropological study of the newer people by Evans Pritchard reveals that they have no word for time. This leads us to believe that they can't discuss the idea of time. Yet, Pritchard reports that they do talk about events that happened several sleeps ago, just as Achilles talks about oaths as opposed to lions. The first theoretical man, Socrates, surpasses both Achilles, who was slain in war, and Agamemnon, whose kingship was mortal, with his theoretical approach. Nietzsche describes this as the most dangerous, most resentful, most interesting moment in Western history. It's the moment when the conceptual understanding of ideas, something that Achilles lacked, rises above all other powers of not listening or wolf powers. Husserl argues that the idea is more powerful than all empirical powers. Nietzsche presents a unique argument. He suggests that the moment when both force and voice become ideas and can be discussed is the most dangerous and treacherous hour. It's during this hour that the philosophers of the future distance themselves from the men of common sense, like Plato's Laches, who insist that courage can be attributed to both lions and men, against Nicias, who argues that the idea implies wisdom or reason, something lions lack. Nietzsche views this treacherous recasting as a greater show of force than any clever animal could ever muster. Now let's delve into the concept of pneumakia, the war of the mind. This term, coined by the Russian philosopher Alexander Dugin, suggests a dramatic battle of ideas and ideologies, a clash of worldviews not unlike the treacherous recasting Nietzsche spoke of. In pneumakia, three logos emerge: Apollo, Dionysus, and Cybele, each representing a different facet of our mental and philosophical landscape. Apollo, the sun god, represents the logos of clarity, order, and rational thinking. Dionysus, the god of wine and ecstasy, represents the logos of emotion, chaos, and instinctive action. Cybele, the great mother, signifies the logos of nurturing, healing, and reconciliation. These three logos are in constant battle, shaping our ideas, our understanding, and our common sense. They influence the way we perceive and engage with the world, and how we make sense of it. Pneumakia, thus, presents a new perspective on the power of ideas and the treacherous recasting of common sense. It shows us that our understanding and interpretation of the world are not static, but are influenced by the shifting balance of these three logos. As we move forward, we'll continue to explore how these forces shape our understanding of war and peace, of right and wrong, and ultimately, of ourselves.